Oh, welcome back my gardening friends. Well, it's another job out of the way. It's Saturday. I managed to get up here for half an hour on 2 evenings. So we spent an hour getting those strawberries all sorted, tidied up, moved about. So let's get on to the next job, which I didn't have time to finish one evening in the week. It's a very cloudy morning, but it's dry, that's the main thing. I'm just going to mulch these up now, just to help stop the weeds. When it dries out, this cocoa coir, it does deter the slugs. So I've got plenty of cocoa coir, he says. I've only got about 600 litres left. I'm getting tempted, guys, to break my little habit, my addiction. But we'll wait and see. No good having too much about. But you've got to get it while you can. I'll just get some more, finish that other bed on the left hand side. Staple gun always runs out at the most inconvenient time. No editing here. I would normally, once this plastic gets too low with all the soil dragging it down, these beds are sunk, but I'm going to be moving these beds, or at least emptying them. That'll stop some of the rainwater going down there. I don't mind a bit because the wood can breathe and all the moisture can come out here if it ever stops raining. Well, the birds are tootling, and the main point of this video today is to start preparing for spring and get the beds ready. Now these have been covered over with cardboard. Just trying to get an example of how thick the cardboard was. I've got a bit here. So there's the thickness of the cardboard when we get it. It's rotting down really well now, and you can probably see here where the birds have just taken it all, and the worms have actually taken some of the cardboard down. So we just need to open those up. You see everything's absolutely wet through. Just knock all the worms off. Good morning, Mr. Robin. Or Mrs. Robin. I'll go and get my container and bucket. So over the winter I've had green manures and cardboard. Just helps to protect the soil, protect the worms. As you can see, the birds do love to have a peck at the cardboard. Into those worms, they're not silly, and all I'm going to do is just keep a bit of a purple. This bed's a little bit low, too late to add any manure now, so I should put some chicken manure pellets in, and then we'll top these beds up. You can see all the activity there, loads and loads of baby worms. They'll go either in the bed or they'll end up in the compost bin, the temporary compost bins. So let's crack on, and then we'll have a wander around. So I've just been around some of the beds there, the cardboard's just completely gone. We're just going to add a few manure pellets. I know which beds have had some well rotted manure in because I put the labels on. I'll put a few pellets on there. So my mix will, for topping the beds up, will be the cocoa coir, the compost that we find with the perlite in, same as the cocoa coir there. 4-year-old leaf mould, and then my old potato compost which I made 12 months ago, which has had the potatoes in, which has had time now to rot down. We've even got the odd worm in there, so I'm going to get sifting that and we'll add that to the bed. And we mustn't forget the soil. Soil adds a lot of body into the soil compost mix. If you haven't got any soil, then look out for some fly tipping molehills, or moles, fly tipping molehills. So I've got a nice little barrel full there. This hasn't cost me absolutely anything because I collect all the materials. And remember, the compost you buy is only whatever they can find, and then they add their nutrients into it. So don't throw any compost away, try and reuse it the best you can. But that soil with a bit of sand in it makes all the difference to giving yourself a nice fluffy soil that the worms will love. And as you've seen, there's plenty of worms in those beds, and a lot of these beds haven't had a great deal in them, but that's a lovely material. So we'll add some of that to the beds and we'll get it flattened off. But the robins always know when you're out and about, especially if they think there's a worm or two to be had. This bed now it's opened up, whether you use plastic, cardboard or green manures, we've got time to breathe. And if this compost's a little bit dry, we can have a little bit more weather on it. So I'll do the other one and then I'll move on to something else before I get too bored. 2 down, lots more to go. So all these strawberries have been tidied up now, just in time for the tulips to come through. It's always nice to keep everything weeded. I've put bulbs under the fruit tree, the conference pear, because nothing else will grow. Strawberries get sapped of everything, and having tulips with the strawberries may not be working either, so time will tell. We'll get another season out of them. So I've cleared this one off because the cardboard had deteriorated, similar to this one, but we've got some recycled stuff there that we've got to find a home for. Next job will be chop and drop, but these are still in really good condition. So they'll be drawing nitrogen out of the air, storing it in the roots. So we're not going to touch those for now. We've had some very, very warm weather here in the UK. Plus 18 when we're supposed to be down at plus 6. Balmy. No wonder everybody's poorly. So I managed to get this done as far as that. The cardboard in there is still good. I'll find a new home for those. The cardboard then will deteriorate, the birds will be in. We'll move over to the other plot now, and all this material that we took out the sift, bar from the pebbles out of the soil, will go in the compost bins, the temporary compost bins. I'm taking over some soil, and that tub of chicken manure pellets I've had for 4 years now. I don't use them very often, and you don't use many if you only put a few down, and having my own manure does help. So let's go over to plot 3. This is where I normally do all my sifting. It's a nice height. I can put my big belly on the front there, and that helps support me back. And then I can collect the materials out these bays. This used to be my leaf mould. It's now 3-4 year old wood chips. They're rotting down. This is my old potato compost that we made last year that we were talking about. That's unsifted, still got some debris in. This is the cannabis compost that we find that's unscrupulously dumped by the growers. Keep that in there. There's the last of the leaf mould. I can start getting some out of the bay on plot 1 later on. And this is the cocoa coir that is unscrupulously dumped, and it's quite easy for me to make up my compost mixes over here and then fill those trugs and pop them over. These green manure field beans we planted in October 23 haven't fared well, as you can see. They're still trying to grow. and we did test our manure runoff on here, and there's no difference in my opinion to the growth on these. We'll leave the winter tares a bit longer, but you must ensure you chop and drop before they flower, or else then they start using up the nitrogen in their roots to reproduce. Basically, we need that trapped in the soil to grow our plants throughout this season. So if you can imagine this being tall and massive growth, you'd just chop it all up. I'm quite surprised actually, because it does stop some of the weeds. These have got a few more weeds than some of the others. It has held back the weeds, which is what we want. We just want to be able to protect our soil and add nitrogen for free. If you let some go to seed, you can save the beans and reuse them, but they're not all that expensive, and it makes you feel happier when you know that we keep. I don't like putting plastic. I don't cover with plastic. I like cardboard and the actual green manure, but it does give you great satisfaction. Well, it's 9:30 now. It's Saturday the 17th. I've been here 2 hours. It is getting a little bit lighter in the morning and in the evening. So some of these jobs are ideal for a little bit of stress relief after work. Before going home. I'm flattening these beds out, but Mr. Robin and Mr. Blackbird will sort this out. Right, we'll have another quick look round, and then we'll say bye-bye for now. So if you want to change and you haven't used green manures before, these were £1 a packet. And you've seen what I've got around my allotments. I think I might have had a few more of the green manure field beans, probably 3 packets. But I wanted to try the winter tares. That was recommended to me. I might plant a little bit closer together, but green manure is well worth having. At £1 a packet, you can't grumble. And you probably got twice as much in there in a packet, so that will last me this coming fall. So if you've enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction. Please leave me a comment on whatever subject you like, and why not consider subscribing. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.